Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start the complete circulation or the complete double circulation. The complete double circulation. The double circulation means the circulation of blood throughout the body, through the human heart. Circulation of blood through the heart. So it divisible into two parts, the systematic, that is greater circulation, and related to the body parts, and the pulmonary circulation, that is the lesser circulation. Lesser circulation, it is related to the lungs, the circulation of blood through the lungs. So in systematic circulation, the blood flows to and from body parts to and from the body parts. So this is the systematic circulation, means from the left ventricle and right atrium. Left ventricle and right atrium. We know the deoxygenated blood collected into the right auricle. This is the diagram of the heart. Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So the right auricle receives all the deoxygenated blood from the body, and this blood left ventricle, the systematic circulation means the blood collected into the right ventricle, then it goes to the right ventricle, then it goes to the lungs, and by oxygenation it collected into the left atrium, then comes into the left ventricle. From left ventricle it goes to the body parts and again collected through the vena cava into the right atrium. That is, we already discussed. So the left ventricle means this one, the left ventricle through the body parts and comes into the right atrium. It means these two chambers are involved. The blood from left ventricle through the aorta, the blood goes to the body parts and collected by the vena cava into the right atrium. So it is related to and from the body parts. From the left ventricle to the body parts and collected into the right atrium. And the second one is the pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation means related to the lungs. So in it the involved chambers are to and from lungs. From the right ventricle through pulmonary artery, blood goes to the lungs for oxygenation, and through the pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood comes into the left atrium. So the chambers involved are right ventricle, and left atrium. Right ventricle and the left atrium. So these two chambers are involved in the pulmonary circulation. So complete two circulations are there. So if we draw the diagrammatic sketch, it means the right ventricle. The right ventricle is this one. The pulmonary artery carry the blood to the lungs. So the blood goes to the lungs. Through pulmonary artery, it is a deoxygenated blood. And from the lungs, the pulmonary vein brings oxygen-rich blood into the left atrium. The right ventricle, deoxygenated blood through the pulmonary artery goes to the lungs. And through pulmonary vein, it collected into the left atrium. From left atrium, the blood comes into the left ventricle. So from the left atrium, the blood comes into the left ventricle. And from left ventricle goes to the body parts through the aorta. So here the aorta is there. The blood goes to the body parts, this one, and from the vena cava it comes into the right atrium. So body parts through this is the CO2 rich blood. So because after respiration the CO2 is released and this blood is coming, that is oxygenated blood. So the CO2 rich blood from the body comes into the right atrium, and from right atrium it again comes into the right ventricle. So this is the whole circulation of the body. Right ventricle, through the pulmonary artery, the deoxygenated blood comes into the lungs, and from lungs the oxygenated blood is released through the pulmonary vein. It comes into the left atrium. The left atrium. Now we will discuss the certain disorder of circulatory system or cardiac disorder. The first we are going to start is hypertension or high blood pressure. High blood pressure or hypertension. As we know, the normal blood pressure is 120 upon 80 mm of mercury. The 120 is a systolic blood pressure when the heart is contracting, and the 80 is a diastolic pressure when the heart is relaxation. So the 120 upon 80 mm of mercury is the normal blood pressure in a resting condition or when the normal blood pressure is there. If the blood pressure checks of, the repeated blood checks of blood pressure, if repeated check of blood pressure of an individual is 140 upon 90 mm of mercury over 90, or we can say or the higher than 140 upon 90, the person is suffered by hypertension. The high blood pressure leads to heart diseases. It also affects the vital organs. Vital organs like kidney, brain, etc. And the second one is coronary artery diseases. Coronary artery diseases or mainly the coronary artery. The less blood supply to the coronary artery. So we call it atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis, or the coronary artery disease, often referred to atherosclerosis, means when no enough oxygen, when no enough oxygen reaching to heart muscles. Reaching to heart muscles, the person is suffered by sclerosing. Or it is caused by, for example, this is the coronary artery. The deposition of calcium here within the lumen of artery. So the deposition of fat, deposition of calcium, deposition of cholesterol within the blood vessels means artery. So the blood flow is disrupted and the fibrous tissue may be there, the fibrous tissue may be deposited. So the condition caused due to the deposition of fat, calcium, cholesterol and fibrous tissue which make the lumen of the artery narrow and the blood supply is diminished, the oxygen supply is diminished. And the third one is angina or angina pectoris. The third one is angina or angina pectoris. We also called it angina pectoris. A symptom of acute chest pain, or we call it normally the heart failure. Acute chest pain appears no enough oxygen reaching to the heart muscles or cardiac muscles. Heart muscles. No proper oxygen supply to the heart muscle. The angina can occur both in men and women. Any sex can be affected by it, and the most common among the middle-aged people. It occurs due to the condition that affect the blood flow. Means it occurs due to the less blood flow to the heart muscles. And the next one is the heart failure. This is the angina pectoris, now the heart failure. Fourth one is heart failure. This is angina or we call angina pectoris. The heart failure means the state of heart when the heart is not pumping blood effectively to enough the meat to the body, or not enough blood supply. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure because congestion of lungs is one of the main symptoms of disease. Heart failure is not same as cardiac arrest. Is not as a cardiac arrest. Heart failure is not same as the cardiac arrest when the heart is not stop beating or heart attack. The heart muscle is suddenly damaged by inadequate blood supply, or enough blood supply is not in the heart muscles. So these are the, simply we call it also heart failure. So these are the cardiac disorder. Now this chapter we have finished. Now the next video we will start the new chapter, biomolecules.